Hi guys, Yacca here. So we finally did it. We hit Legend just now with the Weapon Rogue deck that I've shown you before. We got to play around, it says 154 matches here, but it's probably around 154 at least, but maybe towards 160-ish, because I've been playing on other computers which did not track this. But not a lot, and therefore this is actually the amount of games, more or less actually the amount of games that I needed in order to get to Legend. One or two considerations here when you're playing a deck which has some difficulties against others. You might want to try and shift it up, maybe to playing one or two decks, but now I just wanted to play and hone my skills on the Weapon Rogue. But what you can see in the matchups here is that Druid is 12%. I'm not sure you can see it, but I can tell you, Druid is 12% of the games that I faced, and Paladin is also 12%. Then this means around 24% of all my games are in the red category here. So those, over the course of the September season, has been rather popular with my opponents. So 25% of the matches that I played, I have been unfavored, and that's kind of high. If you look towards how many games are played in general, just in Legend, those two decks make up of 15% on the data. There's on these, for instance, HS Replay, like you see here. So they track that 15% of all decks played in Legend are just these two decks, where I play 24%. So it's been kind of a tough climb once in a while, but I hit Legend, and that's perfectly fine. There's a little bit more gameplay. I want to show you the matches up towards the final boss and hitting Legend. But I think if you learn the deck's intricacies, then this is really great. And I want to give a shout out to Jay Alexander. He's really high up in Legend in North America, top 50 right now, playing this exact deck, and seeing him play is really fantastic. But see if it works for you. It's a little bit expensive. There's a few legendaries in here, but they seem good and stable, and something that you might be able to use going forward as well. So I think I'll leave you with the gameplay, and get on in there and go for the rush to Legend as well. I know you can do it, guys. So see you on Legend, hopefully, and let's head on into some gameplay. Okay. Here's the rope.
None can escape my fury. I am the Iron Hand of Justice.
This exact build is actually quite okay against the other rogues. They're a little bit more value oriented. This is a little bit more tempo, a little bit more aggressive. Backstab is excellent. Good curve. So far a good start. He did a full mulligan. Well, it can be good for me, unless he got the answers he was looking for. There's always Spy Mistress. Next turn I have to think about if it's Sneaky Delinquent or Dagger. Dagger sounds a little bit fun, but with Volpera it could actually be quite fine. I think I want to do that.
Nightfall.
Then he can use his face to trade into the 3-1, getting a little bit more damage to himself. With that raise I should win. The base raise. But he can choose to backstab it, if he has one.
I wonder.
And then I should should have a good turn with willpower, maybe backstab.
Give me a quest.
In Hearthstone terms, that is what we call a naked questing adventurer. Which is bad, especially since I can do this.
Justice is mine.
Usually it means, if your opponent has a somewhat good hand, that they have another one. This could be just out of desperation, that there's nothing else to do. Which I hope. Oh, Shadow Step. Get him a bunch of... Oh, he was trying to do like a major questing adventure return.
Brotherhood shall prevail.
I'm not too scared about that one since I have a sap. Just gonna use that right away.
Justice is mine.
You just go right on ahead and redevelop all that. While I continuously push face. Put down a 6/6 Edwin, or it's a little bit more manageable than a 10/10.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
Oh, I need to count damage. And it's like 3, 7, 10. Have another eviscerate. 3, 7, 10, then 3, and then maybe into.
Think.
Yeah, and I think I should go for it. But I'll do this instead.
Justice is mine.
Could be that he has some kind of AoE from the mage spells. I still have a bunch of them. It's like 7. I still have the possibility for lethal if I draw into the other eviscerate. Combustion. There's no chance for lethal there. Let's do another setup, right? Drop these two.
These holes.
That's 10 points of damage. So he needs to do. He has an 8. He needs to do 10. He needs to do 10 points of damage with 7 mana. He has a reborn minion. Was that a legendary? He's getting to that point where it's actually not possible, I think. He can do... Well, then he needs to get exactly... No taunts. So that should be it. And then we would be down to the final boss. We'll just do exactly 11 damage. Get the combo.
To bones and ashes. Smart moves. I concede.
Yeah, like I said, it's this deck is really doing so much good work against the other rogues. So, good game, definitely. Final boss. There's already a bunch on my friends list which are in Legend. But we might get there, and if this is the Bomb Warrior, I have a fair chance to get there. But if I do hit Legend, it'll probably be around 5,000 maybe. It's day 7, I think. Should know the date. Day 7. What am I talking about? It's day 5. Whoops. But still on day 5. It should be around like there's 4,000 or 5,000 players in Legend already. Day 7. It's usually bomb. When it's Corsair Cash, it's usually bomb. I just hope it's not Anchor that he's drawn into. But the worst thing against this deck is if he does drop Skipper and yeah, it's just Wrench Caliber. If you draw Skipper into Armorsmith, that's pretty bad. Okay, let's do like so. And I'll commit one Dread Corsair.
Justice is mine.
Makes he needs to hit into the Dread Corsair for a bunch of damage, and he can't clear with a Blade Storm. I don't want to commit all my 1 health minions, but I can maybe commit a Woken Infiltrator with the Dread Corsair this turn. Jandis. Maybe I could do that. I think that's gonna be this most powerful turn that I can get. Yeah, it's gonna be this one. Doesn't really matter. Getting extra spell damage is good for Eviscerate. And that should potentially be lethal. And it's health spread out over 3 different tiers. That's gonna be 6, right? 6, 8. Can't find the rest. I'll just do this. Just need to make sure I get something out of this spell damage minion. And we're in Legend! First try this time. Feels good. Let's see where we end up. $2,000. Okay, I had a better MMR than I expected. Cool. That's a great rating to start with in Legend. We played the Weapons Rogue all the way to Legend, and as I mentioned in the beginning, you'll see some of the stats there and how many games that I actually got in. But it's been working really well. It's kind of even in many matchups, it's not it's unfavored in some, but it's not that you don't have play against any class. You have play against all classes. Some matchups are just really difficult, especially around the Paladin and especially the Druid. But this deck, I think, is doing really well. I've seen Jay Alexander, top tier player, playing this in top 50 Legend in NA. So it's doing really well. How it will actually perform when the nerf to Secret Passage actually hits, we'll see. I'll probably try it out anyway. But we're in Legend. Yes. Thank you for watching, guys.